Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hard Rock Ranch series. Diabetes sucks, but life doesn't have to. I'm Brian Reynolds, and I have type 2 diabetes. This exciting podcast episode is called Going to the Dietitian. Soon after being diagnosed with diabetes, I was fortunate to have the opportunity to see a registered dietitian. During my first counseling session, we discussed a path forward on how to eat healthy. My dietitian handed me a one-page printout. I looked it over really quick and saw a big list that had tons of really good stuff to eat. The list sounded kind of like this. It had fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, oh yeah, chicken fried steak, nachos, woo, cheeseburgers, french fries, onion rings, pizza, sausage, hot dogs. Man, it looked like I was going to be able to eat anything. You name it, it was all in there. I told her, this doesn't sound too bad at all. She kind of looked at me kind of like, where am I from? And she said, read that just a little bit slower and closer. This is the list of things you're never supposed to eat. I said, never? And she said, never again. But I told her, I tried to explain to her, I said, look, listen here, darling, this is the kind of stuff I eat every day. And she said, yeah, and your A1C is over 12. So I was naturally upset, and believe it or not, even a big old boy like myself, strong as an ox, tough, I started to cry. She handed me a box of Kleenex, came over and put her arm around me, said, it'll be okay, it'll be all right. She was actually consoling me. So the dietitian asked me, he said, what is your favorite special occasion food if you're to go out to eat? I said, ribeye steak, baby. What else is there? And she asked me, how big of a ribeye steak do you think you can eat? And I said, oh, I don't know, 12, 18 ounces, nothing too big. She said, no, you can't eat a ribeye steak. She kind of looked at me and said, if you're going to have to go eat a steak, you need to eat a 2-ounce sirloin in order it well done to get as much of the fat cooked out of it as possible. I said, a 2-ounce steak. There is no such thing. You would never go into a steakhouse and say, yes, I'd like to have a 2-ounce steak and, and cook it well done. That couldn't even come out of my mouth as something that made any sense at all. So she was basically telling me to go have a good time and enjoy 2-ounce steaks from now on. 2 ounces. A sirloin steak to start off with, that's something you would get like at the most crummy all-you-can-eat steakhouse buffet, all-you-can-eat, that has fried chicken, all the trimmings, and, oh, yeah, they've got steak back there. So tough, you could probably use it, to re-sole your boots. So, but I was taking this seriously, so I started doing some research and kind of curious, about the 2-ounce steak, and I was trying to kind of put this in perspective. And believe it or not, there's a website out there that anybody can go look up, which was actually kind of interesting. It was called The Weight of Things, www. The Weight of Things. And you just type in there 2 ounces, and it would start spitting out a list of everything that weighs 2 ounces. Well, the one thing that caught my eye, because I was still thinking 2-ounce steak, one thing that weighs 2 ounces is a golf ball. You believe that? She's basically saying, if you want to go eat a steak, go get a golf ball and eat it. I don't think so. Basically, that's what they were trying to say. So, I got to thinking, if I'm really hungry, maybe I can eat 2 golf balls. I know for my birthday, if it's really special, I'll get an orange golf ball. That just didn't make any sense to me. This is just crazy talk. Well, one thing I started to learn very quickly, that if you're to take this seriously, this is a very hardcore kind of a diet. I mean, your type 2 diabetes is an incurable disease, and your diet is a gigantic part of what you need to learn how to take care of. But a 2-ounce steak, I just decided pretty fast that this was not going to fly. This golf ball is not going to fly. I thought to myself, this is why everybody has diabetes out there. Just about is it doesn't make any sense to just your diet is just never going to be the same again. But you do have to learn how to eat and cook healthy. I just kind of figured I was setting myself up for failure. So the whole theme of this show is we're going to explore this and we're going to take a little trip together here. We're going to hold hands virtually, and I'm going to show you throughout these series how to take the list that they actually told you to use and learn how to take a very meager set of ingredients and whip up some very delicious and tasty foods. Now, you're going to have to learn to cook, but that's okay because it's going to be a cooking show too in these podcasts. So, anyhow, thank you for tuning in today. And we're going to learn how to eat healthy in all the future podcasts and cooking shows that we have on this YouTube channel. Y'all take care, and thank you very much for tuning in today.